Hi, let us now talk about network effects, categories, and types. We know what a network effect is, also known as network externality. It occurs when the value of a product or service increases as more people use it. In simpler terms, the more users a platform has, the more valuable it becomes to all the users. Let's take a simple example. Suppose you have two telephones. Person A and person B has got a telephone each. How many connections are possible? Only one connection is possible. Suppose you have four telephones, then how many connections are possible? You can calculate it, but I can tell you it is six connection. Two telephones, one connection. Four telephones, it is not double, but it is six. Similarly, if you have 12 telephones, you can make
66 connections between them.
And if you have 100 telephones, you can make 4,950 connections. Now, that is network effect. From the number of telephones go from 12 to 100, the number of connections go from 36 to 4,950. This is nonlinear growth. It's also called convex growth. So, this is the power of network effect. What's the importance of network effects? Network effects are crucial in platform business models as they create a positive feedback loop where the value of the platform increases as more and more users join. They play a significant role in attracting and retaining users, driving growth, and establishing market dominance of platforms. Understanding network effects is essential for managers and entrepreneurs to design and operate successful platform business. Let's look at different types of network effects. There are many types and categories, but we will discuss three types of network effect. One, direct network effect. Two, indirect or cross-sided network effect. Third, two-sided network effect. Let's look at the direct network effects now. Direct network effects, also called the same side network effect, occurs when the value of the platform increases for an individual user as more and more users of the same type join. The effect is often driven by increased communication, content sharing, or network effects specific to the user group. Let's look at some of the examples. Most popular example is the social media platforms. Example, Facebook, Instagram. As more users join Facebook or Instagram, the platform becomes more valuable for each user as there are more connections, more friends, and content to engage with. Additionally, the increased user adoption attracts more business to advertise on the platform, further enhancing the value for the users. Another example is the popular communication tools. WhatsApp, Slack are examples. More the people who use WhatsApp or Slack, the more valuable the platforms become for each user, as there are more individuals to communicate with. As more users join, the likelihood of finding and connecting with friends, colleagues, or community members increases. One of the reasons for WhatsApp phenomenal success as compared to alternative platforms like Signal is because of this network effect. Now let us look at indirect network effects. Indirect network effects, also known as cross-site network effects, occur when the value of the platform increases for one group of users as the number of users on a complementary side of the platform increases. In other words, the value is derived from the interaction between two different user groups. Let's look at example of indirect network effects. One example is a video game console. Console gamers benefit from indirect network effects. As more game developers create games for a particular console, the value of that console increases for gamers. The availability of large game library attracts more gamers to the platform, resulting in increased demand and adoption of the console. For example, when more developers create games for Sony PlayStation, it enhances the value of the console for gamers as they have a wider selection of high quality games to choose from. This in turn attracts more gamers to purchase and use the PlayStation, reinforcing the positive network effects. Second example is smartphones. Smartphones exhibit indirect network effects. As more users adopt a specific smartphone platform, example Android or iOS, it becomes more attractive for app developers to create apps for that platform. The large user base offers a broader market potential and revenue opportunities for developers to develop on that platform. For instance, when Android smartphones gain popularity and a large user base, it incentivizes app developers to create more apps for Android platform. As a result, Android users benefit from a wide range of apps to choose from, which enhances the value of their smartphone. A third example which you will be familiar with is e-commerce marketplaces. E-commerce platforms demonstrate indirect network effects. As more buyers join an online marketplace, it attracts more sellers to list their products on the platform, leading to a broader selection of products for buyers to choose from. Conversely, more sellers attract more buyers due to availability of diverse products. For example, Amazon attracts a growing number of buyers to its platform. It becomes more appealing for sellers to list their products on Amazon instead of other platforms. This increased seller presence expands the product assortment, making it more attractive for buyers to visit and purchase from Amazon, thereby reinforcing the positive network effects. Let's look at two-sided network effects. Two-sided network effects, also known as platform network effects, occur when the value of the platform increases as more users join on both sides of the platform. It involves interaction and interdependency between two distinct user groups. Let's take some examples. One example is credit card networks. Credit card networks demonstrate two-sided network effects. As more merchants accept a particular credit card, for example a Visa card or a MasterCard, it increases the value of that credit card for the card holders. Similarly, as more cardholders adopt a certain specific credit card, it becomes more attractive for merchants to accept that card. For instance, as more merchants accept Visa cards, it encourages more consumers to obtain and use Visa cards for their purchase. In turn, as more consumers possess and utilize Visa cards, it incentivizes more merchants to accept Visa cards as the payment option, creating a virtuous cycle of increased value for both sides. Let's look at another example, very popular ride-sharing platforms. Ride-sharing platforms like Uber and Ola benefit from two-sided network effects. As more drivers join the platform, it leads to shorter wait times and increased availability of rides for the passengers. Simultaneously, as more passengers use the platform, it attracts more drivers due to higher demand for their services. For example, Uber gains more passengers, the demand for rides increases. This prompts more drivers to join Uber as they can find more potential passengers and earn more income. The increased availability of drivers and shorter wait times further attract more passengers to use the platform, and the cycle goes on. A third example is online advertising platforms. Online advertising platforms exhibit two-sided network effects. As more advertisers use a platform, it attracts more publishers and website owners to offer advertising space on their platforms. Conversely, as more publishers join a platform, it attracts more advertisers looking for ad inventory. For instance, Google Ads attracts a large base of advertisers. It becomes more appealing for website owners and publishers to display Google Ads on their platform. The increased availability of ad space entices more advertisers to use Google Ads, resulting in a mutually reinforcing positive network effect. Now we will look at failure of businesses due to lack of network effects. Businesses that fail to create and leverage network effects face challenges in attracting users and achieving sustainable growth. Lack of network effects can result in limited user engagement, weaker value proposition, and difficulties in competing with established platforms. Let's look at a couple of examples. Google Plus, despite being part of technology giant Google, Google Plus was an attempt at creating a social networking platform to compete with Facebook. However, it failed to establish strong network effect. Google Plus network was launched in June 2011 in an attempt to challenge other social networks, linking other Google products like Google, Drive, Blogger, YouTube. So they had every reason to succeed. This service, Google's fourth foray into social networking, experienced very strong growth in initial years. But despite the initial interest and a large user base of Gmail users, Google Plus struggled to attract and retain active users compared to Facebook's well-established network. As a result, Google Plus faced challenges due to low user engagement and software design flaws in sustaining user engagement, leading to its eventual shutdown. Another example of failure of network effects was from Apple. Ping was a service by Apple. Apple's Ping was a social music discovery platform integrated into iTunes. This service was launched with 1 million members in 23 countries. However, it failed to gain significant traction due to lack of network effects. Ping lacked the critical mass of active users necessary to create a vibrant social network around music. Without a strong user base, Ping failed to attract musicians, lacked meaningful interactions, and ultimately failed to sustain user interest. Apple discontinued Ping in 2012. So, in conclusion, network effects play a very crucial role in driving growth and establishing competitive advantages in the platform business. Understanding various types of network effects is essential for managers and entrepreneurs to leverage them effectively. In the digital age, network effects have become increasingly vital for success of platform business. By harnessing the power of network effects, businesses can attract and retain users, drive innovation, and create sustainable competitive advantage.